Hello my witchy friends, my name is Sophie, I am the Midwest Magician. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. Today I wanted to talk about glamour magic, self-care, and combining the two to become the best versions of ourselves that we can be. Hello everybody, it's Editing Sophie. I just wanted to let you know, I haven't watched the whole video yet, I'm editing it right now, but I got wisdom tooth surgery yesterday. I took my medicine so that I wouldn't be in pain and filmed this video today, and I'm editing it today, so I really hope that it makes sense and it's cohesive. I plan on posting it regardless just because it is something that I put a lot of effort into just to film it, but just bear with me because I did just have a procedure, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Back to the video. So historically, glamour magic has been used as a way to kind of make others see things in a different way than it actually is. Typically, this would be used to make yourself appear more beautiful to others. I don't know about you, but my 90s kid brain immediately jumps to The Little Mermaid. Ursula stole Ariel's voice and put it in that shell necklace and wore that to transform her look. It was always Ursula, but she had used that glamour to make everybody think that she was this beautiful, charming potential bride for Prince Eric. Of course, Disney movies and real life are quite different from each other, and while some people in real life will use glamour to kind of pull the wool over people's eyes, that's not necessarily what I'm planning to talk about in this video. I would like to talk about how glamours can be woven into our everyday lives and routines as a way to instill confidence so that at some point we won't need to do the glamours anymore. Some might disagree with these techniques, but since we're on my channel, I'm going to talk about how I personally like to use glamour magic paired with self-care in order to create that long-lasting change. So what does that look like within my practice? I kind of use glamours as a fake it till you make it kind of thing. As an example, I created a spray as a glamour to use for self-confidence when I'm out in social situations. And my intention is to only use it when I really, really need it. And hopefully I won't even have to use the whole bottle before I have that full self-confidence to not be shy in social settings. The intention is that I never have to make it again. So how does this actually tie into self-care? Since I like to use glamour magic as a way to reinforce positive change rather than as a way to temporarily transform myself, is a great way to anchor it to my everyday life. Basically, I can do the same self-care practices that are already within my routine, but I can change the different ingredients, incantations, and affirmations that I use for whatever I would like the glamour to be. In short, I'm taking advantage of the self-care practices and routines that I already have established to become the best version of myself. Before we get into these exact techniques, I do want to talk about the importance of self-care as witches. Self-care is already incredibly important in and of itself, but I feel like as witches, we need a little bit extra self-care. I know this has been touched on in a bunch of other content creators' videos, but self-care is not only good for just our physical hygiene, but it's also really good for our spiritual hygiene. Oftentimes, as witches, we are always called to care for others, be it as a caregiver to family members or children, tending to our homes and the spirits that we choose to work with and honor within our four walls. We're called to nurture relationships, to tend and care for our animals. So it's no surprise that it can be so easy to become overwhelmed, which is why it is so important for us to tend to our spiritual hygiene, our spiritual health. I personally know how difficult it can be to find time to care for ourselves. I don't even have children, and my whole day is planned out going to work, doing YouTube videos, working on personal projects. I'm a part of a coven. I cook every single day. There's so much going on at all times. But if we're showing up to our everyday lives feeling burnt out, then we're showing up not being our most magical selves. Taking the time, even if it's just for a few minutes out of our day, can drastically enhance our magic and allow us to show up refreshed, recharged, and super magical. So what can this look like in our everyday lives? I personally like to take a mind, body, spirit approach, and I do have a video discussing this further that I can link down below. But for me, it works really well to focus on one of these at a time, be it mind, body, or spirit. So just a quick couple of ideas for each category before we move on to merging glamour and self-care would be journaling and writing everything down for the mind. And this is a great way to kind of start to see what changes we want to incorporate into our lives and things that we can start to use glamour magic to change. Meditation could be really great for any of these three categories, but I'll use it as a spirit example. Since we're meditating on our self-care and we're clearing our mind, we can start to really focus on the intentions and energies that we want to bring in when we do our glamours and self-care. To piggyback off of meditation, an even more time-conscious idea would be to focus on your breath. I'm so sorry if you can hear little clicky clackies. Hazel is wanting some attention, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that. She wanted to go outside. As far as breathing goes, I personally love to do either box breathing or vase breathing when I need to just take a minute. Really like this method because you don't have to drop into an altered state of consciousness, but it still allows you to check in with your body, breathe, relax yourself, and reset your nervous system, and you don't even have to leave your work desk. I will go ahead and link some videos for box breathing and for vase breathing down in the description box below as well, if that's something that you'd be interested in trying out. And then as far as body, which I guess the breathing could be a part of body too, they kind of all mesh together, but I think it's nice to focus on one at a time. But specifically for body, I would say doing herbal baths, or in my case, because I don't have a stopper for my bathtub, herbal showers. And herbal baths and showers are great to merge glamour magic into as well. But now that we've kind of briefly overviewed some different techniques for self-care and why it's important, let's get into how we kind of merge our self-care with our glamour magic. As I said, I like to focus on one thing at a time, and that also goes for my intentions. So continuing on with our example of self-confidence, I would want to tuck in glamours for self-confidence into every step of my self-care routine. So for mind, I would be journaling about my self-confidence. I would be wanting to figure out where I'm feeling blocked with my self-confidence. I would want to journal about ways to incorporate different correspondences of self-confidence within my self-care. That could look like a sigil, that could look like essential oils, herbs, and different things like that. And a great tool, different correspondences. Again, I've mentioned this book in so many videos, but I love Scott Cunningham, even if he's very Wiccan and old school. I don't care, I still love him. Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs is going to be a great resource for finding these correspondences for you. Or you could just Google. The body would be my physical self-care. Something that I like to do is to utilize my skincare. I can use the sigil that I journaled and created for the mind portion on my body. I can use that for my moisturizer, for whatever I'm putting on my skin. I could also use different oils or essential oils. Be sure to dilute them though, so you don't harm yourself, as a way to add those correspondences into my skincare as well. You can also draw these sigils when you're doing your makeup, when you're adding concealer or foundation. You can create an incantation when you're doing your journaling, speak it into your makeup products, and then apply them to your face. And over time, you won't need to use that incantation any longer. Another great way to incorporate this into your personal self-care, we already talked about the spiritual showers and baths, using those herbs and different correspondences within that while you're in the shower to kind of put that glamour on you until you wash yourself off again whenever your next shower is. You can make soaps or add essential oils or different things onto your existing soap or into your existing soap. I use a bar. If you use like a shower gel or something like that, making sure that you're using things that fit your specific intention. And since gels and liquid soaps have so much water, speaking your incantations and intentions into those will hold super well, since water does hold intention. Another thing that I really like to do with my body portion is when I use my hairspray to make sure my curls stay in place, I kind of say my incantation and scrunch it into my hair just to make sure that that stays with me all day long. And by no means do you have to do this for every single step of your self-care, but even if you just tie it to one or two things, it'll create that feeling, it'll create that glamour so you can know what it feels like, so that you can continue to make these positive and long-lasting changes. And as far as spirit goes, again, doing meditations, I think for spirit also a good idea would be candle magic. I know that's not technically like a spirit thing, but within Glamour you can do candle magic spells, and that will last probably a little bit longer than something like skincare or hair care, which is going to wash away or be less potent as the day goes on. And with the candle magic, you use that as a way to ensure that it's creating the lasting change. So the makeup and body portion would be so you get the feeling, the fake it till you make it feeling, and the candle magic can be a way to cement it into permanent change. I would love to encourage you to kind of find what's gonna work best within your own self-care routine. And if you don't already have a self-care routine, this would be a great time to kind of reflect and to start creating a daily ritual that you can do to incorporate self-care and to create glamours that you would like to add on to your self-care routine. To kind of wrap it all up, self-care and glamour magic can definitely be two completely separate things, but in my opinion, kind of tying them together and tethering the glamour magic to your self-care routine is a great way to create lasting change within your life, with the intention of not needing the glamour magic for that specific reason anymore. Again, it's kind of a fake it till you make it thing. So if you're consistent with your glamour magic, then you consistently get the feeling of, again, our example, self-confidence, to the point that you will no longer need to use that glamour for that purpose, and you can move on to a different thing that you would like to instill change in your life for. I hope that you were able to find something to take away from this video. I hope that it sparked some kind of inspiration for your own practice. Again, I always remind people to use what they have first. I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic in the comments down below. If you made it to the end of the video, can you leave that little like nail polish, like painting nails emoji? I love to see who makes it to the end of the video. If you're not yet already subscribed, I would love to invite you to subscribe to the channel. We just got 1,000 subscribers. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Thanks, bye.